So, back from that episode of Believe in Boyt with this Arboliver team. I guess I'm going to call it an Arboliver team. That's probably the coolest Pokemon on there, so I'm going to call it an Arboliver team. But it is basically a Tailwind / Trick Room hybrid team, so that you can speed control however you want and position your other Pokemon. Because the Azumarill and Magnezone are fast enough to make use of Tailwinds. Arboliver not so much, but yeah, you're able to control the speeds with 2 Trick Rooms and a Tailwind. And it is quite fun indeed if you wanted to use the team. The team ID is in the top right as well as in the description, and also a Pokebase will be there as well. Let's get into some games. Okay, almost top 500s. So that's reasonably standard, but there is... I'm going to say the top 3 are standards. Like, that's a normal core. Okay, so... Arboliver is not too bad. My own Azumarill is great. Dragon is also alright, but then not very good at all against the Azumarill. I'm bringing my own Azumarill. I'm bringing Arboliver. I mean, it's just the last 2. It could be Volt Absorb on the Pawmot, but they do tend to be Iron Fist. Medicham is okay, but they have the Fake Out War 1 if they lead with Pawmot. I'm going to go with Hydreigon and Armarouge, I think. With Arboliver and Azumarill waiting in the back. Because this will give me the option to go for Trick Room if they lead with Murkrow, and Tailwind if they don't. So, that should be fine. Humungus could be a little bit awkward. If I do want to be going for Trick Room, then they just switch in the back. But then I can turn into a Grass type with the Armarouge, so it's not as bad. So. Okay, so do they want to be just immediately going for Belly Drum then? Because that wouldn't be unreasonable. I don't have the quickest way of breaking through the Azumarill either. So I'd head quite poorly into this if they are Belly Drum. I will attempt to Draco Meteor the Pawmot, and I will attempt to Psychic the Azumarill. Because either one would be reasonable for me. Okay, go into the Armarouge, fair enough. Draco Meteor, obviously, you know, it's 90% accurate, so of course. And if it's Belly Drum, that was pretty much as bad as that could have gone. Yeah, that's absolutely abysmal. So, right. Would have been nice to hit that Draco, but I don't know. Is this team cursed? I don't know. But I think have I hit like 2 out of 3 Dracos with this Hydreigon so far? No, like hit 1 out of 3. I missed 2. Right. I have to Terastallize with the Armarouge to survive a Aqua Jet. But then I'm just going to get close combated as well. So not the most ideal of situations, of course. I did lead poorly with the Hydreigon, it seems. But if they play rough, that is a very good play from them. And then I'm not looking good. Although at least my Azumarill should definitely outspeed their Azumarill. Mach Punch won't KO. Are they Aqua Jetting as well? Aha, good. So, this combination is hopefully going to be strong enough. And if it's not, oh no. Well, that should be strong enough, right? Because that was more than I expected from the Dark Pulse. This should KO. Not quite. Not quite. So, I lose both Pokemon here. Is it worth letting Azumarill take extra chip? Because I'll outspeed them with an Aqua Jet. That is unfortunate that that was not strong enough. I will switch into Azumarill because I think I can't 1v2 them. Not 1v2, like 2v4, I guess. If I've just got Azumarill and Arboliver. I think I still need my Armarouge. But if this is play rough, then that was a very good play. Although Aquajet was strong enough, so I'd be surprised if they went for Play Rough. Yep. And that still hurt a lot. But now I can go into... Yeah, now I can go into Arboliver and Hyper Voice and get my Throat Spray. Because my Azumarill definitely outspeeds theirs. The only issue is that they could just protect the Azumarill and attack the Azumarill with my Azumarill with their Portmore. But then I have no counterplay to that. Because my Arboliver won't outspeed theirs. So if they just protect their Azumarill this turn, I'm pretty confident I'm going to lose. So I just have to play for them expecting to be faster. Yeah, like this was always going to happen, but I had to play as if this wasn't, because... And they also have to have Double Shock, which they might. They definitely might. But like, even if I predict this and KO the Pormot, the Azumarill is just going to Aquajet KO me next turn, regardless. Because if I'd have switched into the Armarouge there to stop the Double Shock, because they can't do that anymore, then that wouldn't have KO'd the Armarouge. And then I'm in a still abysmal situation. So... Arboliver's going to have to 2v1. And I'm pretty sure it can't, given the fact that I'm still weak to fighting. So that was me just leading very poorly into this. Didn't respect Belly Drum on Azumarill, because, like, Hydreigon was a terrible lead for this. Like, leading literally any other Pokemon. If I led with Medicham, we could have traded Fake Outs. If I led with Arboliver, I could have just Giga Drained immediately. So, Hydreigon was very poor coming from my end. So, I'll just lose Armarouge to the Aquajet, take a huge chunk with Mach Punch. I'll at least KO them both. But now Arboliver has to 2v1 with half HP. So, yeah, don't have high hopes. I mean, at least I'm +1. If I still had access to my Terra, I maybe could have done it, because I think there's dragons in the back, right? Although it's probably Goldengo as well. But yes, I led incredibly poorly against this combination. I was prepared for the Murkrow, I was not prepared for the Belly Drum. Well, would it have been an idea to have switched immediately into my Arboliver? Probably. Like, it almost certainly was. Let's not forget I missed Draco at the start as well. There's the Murkrow. Alright, so I need to live a single target, make it rain. And then I need to critical hit the Earth Power. And I need to live a single target, steal Terrid, make it rain as well, don't I? So, yeah, not much chance to come back into this match. Or not even. They don't even waste time. They don't need to. Single target, make it rain definitely KOs. So I was super ready for this as the lead, but it was in the back. Like, they led very well, I led very poorly. I just needed to not lead with Hydreigon. Hydreigon in the back would have been fine. Hydreigon in the lead was terrible. Because I did mention Hydreigon's pretty bad against Azumarill. You saw exactly why there. Okay, reasonably low rated. Like, over 2,000 is pretty low rated. But that's just Aaron's team, right? Did Aaron have Hydreigon? Pretty sure he did. Yeah, so Arboliver is going to be brilliant here. Arboliver is quite a good Pokemon in this matchup. I think I will go with Medicham and Hydreigon with Arboliver and Magnezone. Although Azumarill is still entirely reasonable as well. No, I think Azumarill is better than Magnezone, because I was thinking more about the Sylveon. Azumarill can shrug off a Hyper Voice somewhat and hit it physically, so that's still okay. I don't get the immediate OHKO with the Magnezone, but Azumarill can still two-shot it. And it's slightly better against things like the Armarouge and the Hydreigon and all that, so Azumarill it is. Hopefully they just lead with Dondozo and Tatsukiri, that would be funny, because then I can just hard switch into Arboliver and Trick Room, and then just Strength Sap and win. That'd be funny. Because Arboliver is a very reasonable Dondozo counter. Like, it's not a super hard check as in, like, Prankster Haze, but it should theoretically win the 1v1. Oh, they copy my trainer card. Although they're orange, aren't they? Because that means that they're Scarlet and I'm, like, they're orange if they're Scarlet, right? Even though that is a bit weird because they probably should have been Scarlet. Because mine was Violet. Right, so. This definitely could be a Trick Room here. The most benefit I could get would be to go for Trick Room and switch into a Zoom Roll on a Draco into my Hydreigon. If they double into my Medicham as I do that, that is abysmal. But it is the highest reward play, and I think it is entirely reasonable that they would Draco my Hydreigon. So, I'm going to go for that. Because they've also got to be worried about potential fake outs. So if they have Protect, they may Protect on the fake out. They could want to Tailwinds to outspeed my Hydreigon for sure, but then, again, like, do you risk the speed ties here? So, lots of things that could happen. I think it's unlikely they doubled my Medicham, because that would just allow me to Draco their Hydreigon. Yeah, Defensive Terror into not a dragon means that they survive the Draco, most likely. So this is a good start, because this is the first part of what I was expecting. So hopefully this is a Draco into my Hydreigon slot, and then I guarantee Trick Room. Well, that's fine. I've definitely got Trick Room. That is as good as that could have possibly gone. Very nice. So I said it was high risk, high reward. I'm fine losing my Assault Vest there. I am not too concerned with that. So, I could double into the Meowscarada. Based on that damage, that's probably banded, right? I'm going to strongly assume that that is banded based on that damage, because that was a reasonable chunk to a resisted hit. So, yeah, close combat into the Hydreigon. They may not have space for Protect. And Ice Spinner should KO the Meowscarada, so I'm not going to risk the Play Rough missing. Oh, they are Focus Sash. So I am very much underestimating Meowscarada there. But, yeah, I'll lose my Zoom Roll, but that's fine. Like, I've got enough momentum because I've got Trick Room against their Tailwind. So, even though I'm going to lose my Zoom Roll here, I'm still looking at a very strong position. What was the other thing I brought in the bag? It was Arbor Liver, right? Oh, okay, okay. I'm not too concerned with that, actually, because that means I keep a Zoom Roll, and I can just Aqua Jet KO the Meowscarada, and if you have Dondozo in the back, I am so sorted. But there is Sylveon. And I'd prefer not to be in Trick Room against that, so I'm fine with this. Like, thank you very much. I will now Psycho Cut your Sylveon for some great damage. I will now Aqua Jet KO your Meowscarada. If they Sucker Punch my Medicham, then I'll lose both Pokemon, but that's fine. Because I'll just Fire Terror with my Hydreigon and still be able to beat the Sylveon. Yeah, I forgot the Meowscarada had Trick Room. And I forgot, this is Aaron's team. Of course it was Focus Sash. Like, you know, I know this team. I knew it was Focus Sash. And I lost my Assault Vest, so that was a huge chunk. But I do outspeed the Sylveon with my Zoom Roll. So, if it is assumedly the same Sylveon as Aaron had. But there's 2 shots, so that's pretty sweet. And that's in range of another Psycho Cut slash... oh, there's still Tailwind though, isn't there? Forgot about that. There's still Tailwind. It's one more turn, isn't it? Yeah, one more turn of Tailwind. So then would they want to Trick Room on the last turn of Tailwind? I don't have a switch in for Hyper Voice. So worth preserving the Medicham. I think it is. I'm going to switch into Arbor Liver, because it will survive a Hyper Voice, and if they try and get fancy in Trick Room, I'm okay with that. I am wondering if Terastallized Aqua Jet KOs the Sylveon. It is suboptimal, but I am curious. I want to learn that. Like, this is suboptimal if this does not KO. This is a waste of my Terastallization if it doesn't KO. But I am very curious. I would like to know this calc. I think it's just going to fall short, but, like, I am more interested in learning for the future than just winning these Believe in Boyt episodes. Or matches in the episode. So I'd much prefer to be more equipped in the future. And if that means making suboptimal plays and sacrificing a match, then fair enough. But My instinct was correct that that would KO, so very nice. And now it's a 4v1, so yeah, and just Psychic into Arbor Liver. That'll shrug that off. That'll get the grassy terrain. And then I want to see how much the Water Terror Aquajet does the Armor Rouge, so. If that O-code, then that was probably better. But, yeah, this is still absolutely fine. They're not going to let me... Oh, they are! Very kind of them. How much does this do to Armor Rouge? That's a huge chunk. Very nice. Yeah, they'll KO the Azumarill, but then Arbor Liver finishes off, so... Very nice. And I actually learned something. I didn't fall to my curse, and I didn't critical hit the Aquajet. So I do actually learn that that would do half to a Sylveon. Or at least to Aaron's Sylveon. I think the Sylveon should have more defense investment than Aaron had. If you're interested in how much you think I think a Sylveon should have, then go and check on my Sylveon guide. But yeah, that was quite nice. And I actually learned. I never actually learned, but I did this time. Oh, that's highly rated. Wow, okay. And they've got back Excalibur. They know what's up. All right. I'm going to try and get as much information about this team as I can, because it's doing well and it's got a back Excalibur. So I am interested. If they follow me on Twitter or anything, then please DM me this team. So, right, what do I do? Okay. Yeah, that is a cool team. I like it. I might try and recreate it even if I don't get a paste. And I'm not expecting to get a paste. So, right. It's usually... So, Medicham against Talonflame is awkward, because they almost certainly Covert Cloak. That's the most common item. And then I could Trick Room on their Tailwind, but then they still have priority Gale Wings. And then they can Brave Bird my Medicham. So, a bit awkward. But when I lead Hydreigon, people tend to go with Tailwinds because they want to outspeed me. So I will go Hydreigon and Medicham. I will... Subaru's not great, especially with the Gastrodon. Magnezone is not too bad, but there's the Gastrodon. Like, I'll bring Arbor Liver because there's a Gastrodon. Even though that's pretty bad in its Excalibur. And then... probably Armor Rouge, right? Yeah, I'll go with Armor Rouge. Because if they Earth Power me with the Gastrodon, then I get Weakness Policy. So, that is a cool team, though. I mean, I'm saying that because it has the Excalibur, but objectively, that's a cool team. And that's a cool training card as well. Still needs to do mine. Okay. So from what I can see, I see incredibly little downside from going for a Fake Out and a Terror, and it's just whether it's Heat Wave immediately or if it's Tailwind. Because if they don't protect the Meowscarada, Heat Wave immediately is probably better, because I outspeed them anyway, and if they had Talonflame in the back, they would be able to match it in the future. If they do protect the Meowscarada, Tailwind is better. So I will Tailwind, because this is still okay. This is still fine. Like, if they don't protect the Meowscarada, okay, fine. What should be Covert Cloak Meowscarada with Trick Room? Who knows when they're this highly rated. Okay, so Tailwind was better. Good. Good. Tailwind was better. But now do they have Sucker Punch on the Meowscarada? Because then they'll be able to KO my Medicham. Also, are they Sash? Yeah, do they have Sucker Punch? Because a switch into my Armor Rouge seems pretty nice. I think there's not many downsides from going for this. I am suspecting Focus Sash on the Meowscarada, because I think the Life Orb would be somewhere else, and you generally are Choice Band, Life Orb, or Focus Sash. And if they have Trick Room on the Meowscarada, that would be quite surprising, because I don't think you have space for that and Protect on the Meowscarada. So... oh no! I've given them the Thermal Exchange, no! And they didn't Sucker Punch, no! They're going to be Focus Sash, I could have just KO'd the Meowscarada. But I'm going to burn it, so it's fine. Not quite. Can't burn the Baxcalibur. But that was not a Sucker Punch, so that was a good play. Wow, they do have space for Trick Room. Was not expecting that. And now they are boosted on the Baxcalibur. I reckon a Glaive Rush would KO my Armarouge. Didn't think they would have had space for that. I will attempt to reverse Trick Room, and I will attempt to Heat Wave. Yeah, Protect and Trick Room. Wouldn't have thought you had space. They do have Glaive Rush. That's gonna KO the Hydreigon. That's fine, because Knockoff will not KO my Armarouge, and I'll be able to reverse the Trick Room and get a Weakness Policy boost. And that means they surely do not have space for Sucker Punch on the Meowscarada. Right? Because we're living that. Tailwind is running out very soon. How fast is my Arboliver? 120. That wouldn't outspeed the Baxcalibur. It has to be Medicham. It's one turn of Tailwind left. No, this way around. If they switch into Goldango, this should KO the Baxcalibur, and I'm expecting the Protect on the Meowscarada. That's a good start. That's fantastic. And that is perfect. Excellent. That was as good as that turn could have possibly gone. Very nice. Goodbye, Mungus. Here's the Trick Room on the Medicham. And now, Armarouge underspeeds everything, right? So I Armor Cannon the other slot, and I Close Combat the Meowscarada slot. They don't have Sucker Punch. Because they've got Knockoff, they've got Trick Room, they've got Protect. This is ideal. Now, it's just, does Baxcalibur have a Terror type that can survive the Armor Cannon? And even if not, I have Arboliver still in the back. So will this be able to survive? Are they going to turn into like a Fire type or something? Water, okay. But that's fine, because Arboliver takes it on. Oh, they have Ice Shards. Oh, they're going to steal that. Yeah, that was nice from them. Although, can Arboliver 1v1 the Goldango? Because Hyper Voice, would that KO that? Because I don't think Goldango's attack is good enough that... Because I'd need to Strength Tap to be able to... Would a plus... No, Earth Power wouldn't KO. Like, Ice Shard into Make It Rain is going to KO, so I'd have to Strength Tap. And they can just protect on the Meowscarada as well, forcing me to have to KO them as well. So yeah, they've got this. So I didn't factor in Ice Shard there. That was, like, they had what they needed. I thought I was doing pretty well and got a nice call. But whoa! That's all the thermal exchanges there and the critical hit. They didn't protect on the Meowscarada. So... I don't know, do I go for critical hits on the... Pretty sure... Oh, I don't even KO the Baxcalibur. Too weak, yeah. I mean, Baxcalibur is just still so busted. Even though it's not the one that I run. But that was still very good for them there. If I'd have gone for Psychic into the Baxcalibur, that would have KO'd, right? So I could have gone for that. Well, if I had the logic of Psychic KOs the Baxcalibur, then I should have gone for that because no Terror type on the Baxcalibur that's justifiable would resist the Psychic. So I should have gone for Psychic and expected that to KO. But yeah, I didn't factor in Ice Shard. And like, I probably should. Like, Glaive Rush means that you have space for Ice Shard for sure. The Icicle Spear Loaded Ice one doesn't, but yeah, that was a very cool team from the opponent. Like, I thought I had outplayed them on that turn enough to position myself to win, but they had all the techs. It's a really cool team. I want to steal it.